There's an appalling story which has taken place in Leeds, and it took place on Monday. And today the police have decided they're not going to take any further action. They interviewed an appropriate adult and released a teenager on bail. But there is video which has appeared on TikTok, and it is simply appalling. There's not video of the girl being dragged off with her mother saying that she suffers from scoliosis and mustn't be pulled like that. But there is video where the girl is hiding in a cupboard and the mother is pointing out that her daughter is severely autistic. Her daughter apparently had said that the officer looked like her lesbian nana. A perfectly reasonable observation, I would have thought. There may have been other issues behind this about a suspicion that the girl was drunk. But the real problem is seven police coming to a house concerned about what they called a homophobic offence committed in the home, when the Public Order Act doesn't cover offences like this committed in the home. Of course, West Yorkshire police have tried to defend their position. We recognise the significant level of public concern that this incident has generated and have moved swiftly to fully review the evidence in the criminal investigation that has led to the decision to take no further action. Without preempting the outcome of the ongoing review of the circumstances by our Professional Standards Directorate, we would like to reassure people that we take on board any lessons to be learned from this incident. We do appreciate the understandable sensitivities around incidents involving young people and neurodiversity, and we are genuinely committed to developing how we respond to these often very challenging situations. There isn't really very much of an answer one can give to this, except that's tosh. That is tosh. They have put a family and a young girl through hell. It's been filmed. The police are on camera. If this doesn't go to some sort of review and these particular over-zesty police personnel are not reprimanded publicly, forced to apologise and provide significant compensation and ideally be suspended, then I think our police force is as incompetent, as lazy, as arrogant, as stubborn as the Home Office that controls them. We come back to the same issue. I'm going to show you the video.
Comment in her own house. You've got her on camera. She hasn't said anything to you. Don't matter. She's getting arrested. She's getting arrested. Why are you doing units coming? Don't worry. She hasn't done anything. She's autistic. I don't care. She's autistic. I know you're okay. I'm telling you, I've got units coming. She's going to be arrested tonight. Wait till the police officer's coming on. Like, explain what happened.
That's why we got her on the first place.
Fucking bitch, what me if I get put on me? Calm down. She's autistic. Can you stop staring at her, please? She's got autism. Can you just stand there? She's in a cupboard. She can't go anywhere. She can't go anywhere. Stand there, dear. They're going to remove her for what? Because you're bothered. Then she said the word lesbian. Her nana is a lesbian. She's married to a woman. She's not homophobic. Look what you're clenching your fist. Go away from my teenage daughter.
What is up with you?
There is something wrong with you, mate. She didn't aim it at the police officer.
It's not homophobic remarks at my colleague.
It's not a homophobic remark. She said, I think she's a lesbian like Nana.
If you want to bully people, you'll just get one of them badges there. That's what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Where'd it go? Where's this? Does it go into right under there?
She's autistic. She don't like people touching her. She will have a meltdown. She won't come out. She's got autism. I'm Lisa.
Talk to her so she can come out. Because we're trying not to do this, aren't we? We've been trying for a long time.
But she hasn't done nothing wrong. That officer out there has assaulted me for no reason. She's got autism. She's autistic, man.
The issue is, if an officer decides to arrest her...
She won't arrest did. They brought her up.
She's under arrest.
No, but she was going upstairs and she made a comment to me, and that officer ran in my house and assaulted me and tried to get to my daughter for now.
If you want to make a complaint about any of it, that's fine.
I am going to.
Will have been on.
I am going to. Yeah, because it is on, and she has.
She's now under arrest.
She was full of rage and she ran in the house and she barged me into this corner.
We come back. I'm sorry. That really was quite harrowing, wasn't it? We come back to the same issue that we've been facing again and again and again, and it's one I think, and I'm sorry to keep harping on about my academic subject, which is theology, but it's theology and it's education. For a while, I was the professor of education particularly focusing on primary education, and then I got bumped back to my original subject just before I finally had to leave Russia, which is fine. I mean, I'm really pleased not to be there, but I found the political temperature hotting up in a quite malevolent way. But yeah, the problem is evil, and evil is something that spreads. It spreads like to use Lee Anderson's expression. Was it Lee Anderson? But anyway, what muck and money. They spread it. It spreads around, and that is the problem. And we see evil, I think, in the actions of Suella Braverman. She may herself not be evil. I don't know. I don't care really. But what she is doing is predicated on harm to others rather than help. Is predicated on defending her position rather than looking for a solution. Is predicated on bloody-mindedness. Now all of that is ripe for evil. And then we look around those people who she influences. Jenrick, who was quite a nice boy, has become tyrannous and vengeful and horrible. Where did that come from? Didn't come from him. I came across him a few years ago, and I thought, what a pleasant boy. And now the police force, under the control of Suella Braverman, behaves like something out of Judge Dredd. It's unimaginable that this could have happened in the UK some years ago. Unimaginable. And yet it's out of control. We see the way evil gets out of control in Russia. And it affects everything. And it touches everyone. And even those people who are essentially good are eventually ensnared. It takes such a heroic effort. That's what sanctity is the heroic effort to remain on track when all around you has succumbed to evil. We've seen it a few times in the 20th century, and we're now seeing it in the 21st century, and we're seeing it here in the UK as much as seeing it in Putin's Kremlin. And I hope people who are led into this will find a way to wriggle out, because this isn't the way to live. And I understand how evil entraps people. I understand it. I saw it myself in Greece, and how difficult it is, and how easily the vigorous do-gooders gather to say that this is right. It's wrong. It's wrong. Nobody can turn round and say that what happened to that young girl was right. Nobody. And that is the definition of evil. Nobody can turn round and say that Putin's invasion of Ukraine is right. And that is the definition of evil. Nobody can say that Suella Braverman's treatment of migrants in Manston, that the death of Hussein was right, that the people being exposed to Legionnaire's disease is right because of the laziness of the Home Office, because of the bloody-mindedness of the Home Office. That is evil. And we look for the author of that. Nothing more to say.